Okay, we're going to do the Senate President's fans bills back to back. We're going to do 1721 first, followed by 1720. And if Senator Borelli hangs around, we're going to do his bill after that. Staff, go ahead.
Mr. Chair and members, Senate Bill 1721 is retroactive to any contracts entered into beginning July 1st, 2021, and it replaces the exemptions from the prime contracting classification of TPT and municipal tax on the gross proceeds of sales or gross income derived from a contract for the maintenance, repair, replacement, or alteration of existing property, with an exemption from the prime contracting classification of TPT and municipal taxation on the gross proceeds of sales or gross income derived from a construction contract with an owner of real property or the improvements to real property that does not exceed $100,000 per unit for a residential project or $1 million for a non-residential project. The bill prohibits project elements from being artificially separated from a contract to cause a project to qualify for the TPT exemption or the municipal tax exemption, and assigns the burden of proving the artificial separation to ADOR. Senate Bill 1721 exempts a contract that primarily involves construction of any electricity generating facility or system, including renewable energy systems, installed on any commercial, residential, or governmental property from the prime contracting classification of TPT and municipal taxation. The bill requires only the contract price to be used to determine whether a contract exceeds the exemption threshold and outlines the treatment of contract change orders. The bill outlines procedures for contracts that were bid or entered into, or for any other binding obligation executed between January 1st, 2015 and July 1st, 2021. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Senators, is there any questions for our staff on 1721? Seeing none, Senate President Fan, welcome to the podium. Tell us, introduce yourself and why you're asking for a yes vote on this bill.
Thank you, Chairman Livingston, and for your consideration of slipping me in here. As you know, this has been an issue that's been going on quite a few years. I'm looking at your members list, and I'm going, okay, you guys have all been around a long time. You know exactly what we're working on here. So, as some years ago, about 8 years ago, there was an adjustment in TPT construction contracting where we set up what we called MRA, maintenance, repair, and alteration. And it's been kind of a nightmare for ADOR and for the contractors. And so we've been working very, very hard these last few years, particularly the last 2 years, in getting this tweaked a little bit. At this time, we have everybody on board supporting, with the exception of ATRA and Habaka, who are working with me. We are going to potentially have a floor amendment. One is to clarify that horizontal contracting stays in prime contracting because they felt that wasn't clear enough. And then to make sure that we are dotting our I's and crossing our T's to make sure that we are not raising any taxes on anybody. This is, like I said, ADOR is very thrilled about this, as well as the contractors. Hopefully we will make this a lot easier and business friendly for them.
Senators, any questions for the senator sponsoring her bill?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Ryan DeMenna with DeMenna Public Affairs, here on behalf of our client, Arizonans for Fair Contracting. Arizonans for Fair Contracting is primarily comprised of subcontractors and the trade associations that represent really every aspect of the construction process. As President Fan and others alluded to, the overhaul in 2013 in prime contracting ultimately was intended to benefit these contractors. It was meant to simplify the process. And interestingly enough, these are the same contractors who have struggled the most with the structure that we presently have in place. I'd add that there have been a number of legislative changes and minor tweaks since the 2013 overhaul, but that's really only added to the existing confusion amongst the subcontracting community. It's worth noting we consistently poll our contractors about what issues are impacting the industry, and this is consistently at the top of the list, which is why I appreciate President Fan getting together with the league, the department, and others to identify a path forward. I think everyone can agree that the simple dollar threshold test established in 1721 really is the path to true simplification. The league is supportive of this approach. The department says this would be easy to administer. And from my perspective, most importantly, it's simple for contractors to understand. It's been made very clear to me by my members that subcontractors are sick of nibbling around the edges of this issue. They really are hoping to achieve true simplification, which I believe is achieved under Senate Bill 1721. So having said that, I'd like to thank the committee for considering this bill, would ask for your support, and I'm happy to stand for questions.
Thank you for your testimony, Senator.
8 ayes, 1 nay, 1 not voting.
Thank you, Senators, by your vote of 8 yeses, 1 no, 1 not voting. You have given SB 1721 a due pass recommendation.